All right, welcome
Hi,
everyone
Casey.
to our
Hi,
GDP
Lisa.
training. Um, like I said before, if you are joining us for the first time, make sure that you're on mute. You can use the question box below to ask questions at any time. Casey, I'm sure, will either check it as she's presenting or she'll go back and read it at the end and answer any of your questions that she does have. First of all, thank you, Casey, for jumping in. We did originally have Pua to come on and teach us about coaching, but because her and her family are unwell tonight, I gave her the night off, and then I'd let Casey know that I was pushing her back another week, and Casey's just like, I've got this. So I was like, oh, thank you so much. So she literally just put her training together, or maybe she had ideas anyway. This is something that she has been putting into action. So I'm really excited for her to share with you, because whether you're experiencing this right now in your business, or you are new, or you've experienced it in the past, there will be times in your business where you will have to, find your groove back. It's just part of the journey. It's part of this business. It's part of entrepreneurship. There will come times where it gets hard and difficult and you'll need a break, but then it's how do you get your groove back? So Casey is actually going to share that tonight. So handing the time over to you, and I'm going to put myself on mute and go for it.
All right. For those who don't know me, I'm Casey, and I have got an amazing team. Our team is Believe and Inspire. Inspire. So I did lose my groove back in June last year. I lost my nan, who is pretty much like my mom. She stepped in and took the role of mom. So her being my biggest cheerleader throughout my life and my business, she was probably one of my number one customers. She would buy everything for all the grandchildren, great grandchildren that came along. So when that happened, my business took a bit of a backseat, you could say. I pretty much shut myself off and went through the grieving period. And I think COVID-19 has come at the right time for me to rebuild my business. It meant that, one, in my personal life, I had to slow down because I do have a gymnast and I have a competitive dancer as well. So I'm on the go all the time, and my husband is fly in, fly out. So for me, that means every 2 weeks, I'm on my own for 2 weeks. I have to juggle being a mom, running my Scentsy business. My husband also has his own personal business as well. So I take care of that. When he's not here, I get phone calls, believe it or not, asking for quotes when he's coming back. I chase up all that as well. So I'm pretty busy. But everything just took a backseat, like everything. I pretty much cut myself off, and COVID-19 came along, and that was my time then to reevaluate everything. And what I actually did was I stopped, I reassessed everything that was going on. And for me, it was like, okay, where do I go from here to rebuild my business? I was barely even making 200 PRV. And it pretty much came to, for a director, like you have to make director numbers every 3 months, or you go into what they call a director queue. And then that would technically, you become an SSC. So you become a superstar consultant. And then you've got another 3 months to make your numbers. I was literally sitting at that 3rd month, and it is petrifying as a director going, oh my God, I'm going to lose like my title. So it was then, okay, how do I do this? How do I get back on? For me, it was reaching out to some other directors, some other consultants, just to get the vibe of, I can do this. It's okay. We're going to do this step by step. So it was back to the start. I started posting on Facebook about my Scentsy business, because my customers thought that I was no longer a Scentsy consultant. Even family members thought that I wasn't a Scentsy consultant, because I wasn't posting on my pages anymore. So I had to then get back in contact with my my customers. I got back into that Doing by Amy. That's an amazing way to do that. For me also, it was going back to, I have like a little notebook that I've got like my customers in there as well, getting back to them that way. My VIP pages, it was touching base with everyone, and then it was like, how do I rebuild my business as well? So it was back to basics for me. So what did I do before I got into the rut of not doing Scentsy? So for me, it was sending out product sheets. Product sheets are really simple and easy way to do it. They're cheap and easy, a couple of cents, whether it's washer whiffs, whether it's like hand cream. I've got, a body cream. There is like, that thing is massive, and you can get like a tiny little sample out, and I can probably do 50 samples into a pack. And then there you go, there's a full sheet of product sheets done. It gets everybody back up to date with what our current catalog is, and it's cheap and easy for us to do that, and it's a simple way to get products back into everybody's hands. So that's what I did. And then before I knew it, I was having customers then contacting me. I was then having family and friends letting their family and friends know that I'm back in business, that I haven't like dropped off the end of the earth, like everybody had thought. And then it was coming in. It was like, okay, I'll take anything, even if it's 200 PRV. And then before I knew it, I was back up to my 500. I'll take anything, even if it's just a growth every month of maybe, 20 PRV extra on top of what I did last month. I'm going to take it. That to me, even though it's a small step, it's a small step in the right direction, rebuilding what's coming my way. I think one of the biggest things for me was reach out to your upline, your downline. If you've got a team, reach out to your team. They're there to support you. Just because we're their director doesn't mean that we can't reach out to them. I think one of the biggest things I've learned is to build that friendship with them. They're just not your team, and they're just a number. Treat them as if they're family, as if they're friends. Get to know them, get to know them personally, because when you need them in a time of need, they're going to be the ones that build you back up and help you rebuild your business. I think that was one of the things that I've really learned over the last few months, is to reach out, speak up, because no one actually knows what you're going through. And you don't have to tell them everything. That's fine. You don't have to be, this is what's going on. You can just say, hey, I'm in a bit of a rut, can we catch up for a coffee? Can we go and have lunch? I mean, at the moment with the restrictions, obviously. But I mean, I started to do like coffee dates over Zoom or via FaceTime, just to get back into the swing of things and sharing ideas. Now, this month, what I've been doing with my team is we've been doing the 30-day challenge. And that is every day for 30 days of this month, we are going to share what we're doing in our business. And it can be anything small. It can be, okay, you've just done Amy follow-ups. You have packed Scentsy orders that have come in. For me, I have done samples, or, you might have reached out to me for the day and said, hey, this is what's going on. Just something, because it's going to build up a momentum, which is going to then roll into the next month and then into the next month. They say it takes you to do something 7 times to perform what they call a habit. So, I mean, for me, I hate Brussels sprouts. just completely off the topic, but I hate Brussels sprouts. I hate them. But my husband's like, okay, we're going to get you to like them, but we're going to try a different way. And he did it with butter and salt and pepper. It took me 7 times to even like these things. So it was like, okay, if that's how it's going to work with that, let's put that into my business. Let's go, okay, I'm going to try with this person 7 times and let's see how it goes. I think one of the biggest things we are really worried about is getting out of our comfort zones. For me, this is huge. Like, jumping on here and talking to you guys is way out of my comfort zone. I'd much prefer to have a one-on-one with you, having coffee and talking to you. As you can see, I get really red because I get really, really nervous. But if we don't try those things, then your business is not going to grow. But remember, do what is comfortable for you. If you try it and it doesn't work, that's okay. If you ask someone to join and they say no, that's okay. Get used to hearing that word no, because it's going to come along a lot. What have I got here? Another one was, I've got like heaps of notes. So as I've been cooking dinner and everything, I'm just like, yeah, that's a good thing like to put down because that's what I've been doing. So for me, it was remind yourself why you started Scentsy. If you find that one thing that grounds you why you started. For me, it was at first, it was just a little bit of extra money in our pocket because I had stopped full-time work. And then it moved on to my daughter being a competitive gymnast. Now that is not cheap by any means. And then it moved on to my other daughter, my youngest, being a dancer. And now it literally is providing for both of them to be able to, you know, go to competitions or go to clinics. My youngest, hopefully, cross fingers, has been invited to go to on a cruise ship next year and perform with the actual dance crew that put on the stage performances. So for me, that's my biggest goal for next year, is to be able to pay for that. It is not cheap by any means. I'm also having to pay for my mother-in-law to go with her because unfortunately at the time that it happens is normally state competitions for my other daughter. So it's easy to send my mother-in-law to that and I stay for my daughter here for gymnastics. So it's finding that common ground, grounding yourself again, finding your why you actually started, and then go from there with it. Another one was don't give up until you've exhausted every possibility to rebuild your business. Don't take the easy way out and go, nah, I'm not going to do it. Like, that's it. It's done. Everyone thinks I'm not going to, like, I'm not doing Scentsy anymore. I think that's an important thing in life, just in general. Exhaust everything possible and know that you've given it 100% before you say, nah, I'm done. I'm walking away. What have I got here? Why am I not doing? Okay, and what are you not doing now that you were doing then, that when your business was at its high? Have a think about it. Is it, do I need to go back to basics? Is it, do I need to go back to Facebook parties or basket parties or home parties? Find that one thing that you were good at and run with it. I think that was one of the main things that I actually learned. For me, I've had to change up the way that I do my business. I was big on basket parties. I would have 6 out every month and then I would pick them up. But now I'm really busy with the fact my husband's not here, so I don't have that time to pick them up. Sometimes, you know, I'm not a big fan of leaving them at my front door because we've got kids, young kids that run back and forth all the time, and I'm worried that someone's going to pinch them. In summer, you know, your wax melts. So I've taken the approach of saying to everybody, give me your orders. If you're happy with it at the end of the month, I'll put it in. Especially with the shipping now, everyone wants like free shipping. So I'll say, okay, like send them to me. I'll grab all your details. I'll put it all down. I'll put it at the end of the month if you're happy with that. Or they're quite happy to go to my PWS now and put it in. And it's awesome feeling when you wake up in the morning and you have a PWS order already there waiting for you, whatever total it is. For me, it's take anything that anybody's going to give you. Small steps lead into big things that come down the track. I've learned that. So yeah, and just do you. Enjoy it, find the love in it, enjoy it, share the products again. That's something that I'm going to start doing again. I used to share, you know, products on my feed. I think I get a bigger hit with actually doing lives and showing people what the actual products are. I mean, with the child that came in, I was quite lucky. I got mine really, really early. So I quickly jumped on, out of my comfort zone again, showed, you know, the child here. And I've got a couple more orders for the child when they come in. I think if people can see the products and seeing you use the products, they're more willing to try them. Rather than just see a picture, they'll go, okay, well, yeah, that's just, you know, washer whiffs, or, but what do I do with it? Get people interested in it. Even if you say, hey, who wants, you know, a sample of washer whiffs? Who hasn't tried them before? Counter clean. That's a big one for me too. Everybody loves counter clean. It's crazy at the moment. Lemon verbena is one of the big ones that everybody is going crazy for at the moment. I think because it's like fresh. So I do, let me see if I can quickly find them. I don't know if you guys can see them, but I get these guys. Unfortunately, at the moment, I can't get them in the 3 ml one. I can only get 8 at the moment. But I was able to do, I think, over 30 without even using half a counter clean. So you use your products wisely, use your rewards wisely too. If nobody, say a perpetual reward, use that for like a 3-pack or a 6-pack of something, and use that as samples, and get them in people's hands. People love them. That's where I seem to be getting a lot of it as well. And mystery bags, if you do mystery bags, I did one last month just to see how it would go. Again, it was something sort of out of the ordinary for me. I then have already filled the next slot, and then I've got people going, can you run it again in the month? So I'm like, yep, I'll run it later in the month. So already again, I know that I've already got like 200 PRV plus already sitting there. If that's what you want, if you just want 200 PRV to become active, then great. Like, just run with it, I think, really, and just be comfortable. Reach out to your director sponsor. If there's somebody that you really love that's got a great sort of vibe, then reach out to them. We are more than happy to take messages from anybody and everybody. You don't have to be from our team, like our direct team. We're all here to help everybody grow, and I think everybody sort of needs to understand that. Just because you're not in my team doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore your message. I'm quite happy to read it, and if I can help you, then I will definitely help you. We're all in it together. So that's pretty much what I've come up with. I hope I haven't like rambled, but I'll have a look at the messages, and I'll quickly like answer them if I can. If you've got any other questions, please just pop them up and I will have a look at it. Let me just see if I can figure this out. What have I got? What do you use for your samples for body cream? Okay, let me quickly grab them. All right, so these, I'll quickly see if I can show you. So they come in a box. I think I got 30 in a box. They're just a tiny little container. I'll have a look and find out where I got them from, because I just ordered a whole heap of them and I've just got stacks. so I didn't run out, but they are more than enough. Those little things hold a fair bit, surprisingly. And I mean, you only need a little bit if it's on your hands or on your arms, because it goes a long way. That's what I use for that. Something is better than, yep. Let me have a look. Thanks, Alyssa. No, it's like red and I am like hot as on here. It feels like it's like 50 degrees in here and it's actually freezing. My toes are freezing. From eBay, yeah, I find things on eBay. Amazon sometimes as well, and it's quite surprising what you can actually get on Amazon here in Australia, and they come really, really quickly. These little things I'll take out, if I can work out how to get them out, because they're like stuck in here. I haven't opened these ones just yet. So they are these guys. I can't remember who asked for it, but so they literally just hold these ones at, did I say 10 or 8? I'm not 100% sure, but they're definitely more than enough. I normally use 3 mils, and they're more than enough to get, guess do one lot of like on your counter just to spray them. But another thing actually that I was lucky enough, we did do an appraisal on our house the other day because we're looking at selling. And the real estate lady that come around to do the appraisal happened to walk around, and I actually wasn't here. I was actually delivering orders when she first came. And she said to my husband, "Oh my God, what is in your house? Your house smells amazing. Every room I go in, it smells amazing." And he's like, "Oh, it's this stuff that my wife does, you know, this smelly stuff sort of thing. When she gets back, I'll let you know." Then when we got to the garage, because I've got some stock on hand, she's like, "Is this what it is?" And she was checking it out. She was fully like engaged in Scentsy. And she's like, "Could you do up some sample packs so that we can put them at our open home?" She said, "Just do 10 for now. I'll swing by next week and I will pick them up, and we will see how it goes from there." So just having it out and about, and I'll show you what they actually are. They're nothing fancy again. But I have got, so you can see here, so these little packets you can get from the cheap shop. They are 25 for $2.50. I've got washer whiffs in there. I've got the little counter clean. I have got a catalog because I've got a whole lot of them, and we know that we're going to change catalog soon. So I thought, right, let's get them out in people's hands. A little bit about what is Scentsy, and I've got a car circle, scent circle in there. So again, hopefully that it's just something little simple and a little thank you, because they are going into open homes, and hopefully, cross fingers, by then that is going to grow my business outside of my family and friends circle. So it's getting into another avenue, I guess. But I've also, when she comes to pick it up, I've got a little thank you thing for her, like just like a tiny little gift for her office. And of course, she's going to have people coming into her office to have meetings about buying a house, selling a house. And I'm just going to give her some of my cards as well. So then she can say, like, "This is the lady that I deal with. Here you go." Yeah. So it's building your business outside of your family and friends. And sometimes that's really, really hard. And we don't like to constantly annoy them all the time. I know my family will look at me going, "Oh, here we go again. She's coming for me. Look out, the Scentsy lady. What does she want me to buy now?" Where are those from? Yeah, so I use eBay, Amazon. Sometimes Etsy can have some things on there as well. Could I see the counter clean container again? Deb, which container did you want to see again? Was it the spray one? I can show them that.
Casey, I was gonna say there was 2 private ones just before that, which she said to me privately. I think that they just didn't know how to do it. It was
okay.
one of those things called, you do the counter clean samples, which I think must be the container. And then the other one is water mystery bags.
Oh, okay. So mystery bags is a little bit of a special that I do. So again, this is something that you have to be very careful with compliance, because it is a personal special. So I just I don't actually have it with me. But it's just a little picture and it's little party bags on it. And all I put on there is who is interested, let me know, comment below. Then when they do that, I go into PM and I PM them whatever the special is for the mystery bag at that time that I've actually got going on. So it can be anything. If you've got a little bit of stock on hand, you can put that in there. I did one recently and I actually used the clearance items. So again, yes, it might be gone, but it's getting the product into their hand, something that they haven't tried. And I've got, in my book, again, I tend to write everything down, and I've got everybody's name and I've got their what is in their bag. The 2 things that was common in every bag was hand soap, because everybody needs hand soap at the moment, and dishwashing liquid. So I thought, I know a majority of my customers have not tried the dish soap yet. So let's get that into their hand. And I just worked it from there. I just set a value, but I always give more than what they've actually paid for. So I'm one that's give more than you take. So they've got a little bit extra in there, whether it's samples or some stuff that I may have at home on hand. That's what I do for mystery bags. I can, if anyone wants to PM me, and I can show you how I do it and do a rundown with you. But again, remember, it is a personal special, and all those details have to go into PM. Otherwise, you're out of compliance. And it's really important to also make sure that you're up to date with all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's those. Where have I got? Where do you get them from? Share everything. Just having a quick look. Do I label them? Yes, I always label everything. I've actually got them here. This little thing goes on everything. So this is all my details here. It has got my website on there, my phone number, my name. So the samples as well. There is a thing called, I think it's all about flyers or samples, but they have got everything for you. These things are magical. So it's got what the product is and then what you do with it. They have everything in there. So you just go in, type it up, and bam, it's there, print it off, cut it. I use double-sided tape to stick it on those little samples. Washer with, you just staple it on. Those little containers are a little bit hard, so you can put them, again, you can go to the cheap shop, you can put them in like a little sample bag. I don't know if I've got any on hand, and then just staple the label to it, so that way they can see what it is, how to use it, and then they can then message you and go, I really want to order that. I want, more of that sort of stuff. Okay, I'm putting my first order on Saturday. So overwhelmed, and Zooms really help. That's awesome, Michaela. I'm glad we can help with it. That's what we're here for. Allowed to do body samples are part of this. The packets, are you talking about these guys? Because if it's these ones, let me see, let me grab again, in my folder, this little thing is amazing. It has like everything in there. Let me see. They've got A5 on those ones, so they're just a little bit longer, so everything fits in there. What have we got? Do you use full-size products on your mystery bags? Yep, absolutely. If it's in the clearance section, they get the full products. Absolutely. Again, because it's at a discounted price, it makes it a little bit easier. I was able to get like 4 to 6 items in the bag from there. So not on your VIP. No, I'm going to be quite honest. I don't have a VIP page. I can't keep up with all that kind of stuff. I'm quite busy. Between my personal page and my my team page, and being a mum that runs around all the time, I don't have time to constantly be on Facebook. My girls probably think that I'm on my team page always, but actually what I found is I actually schedule my posts. So the night before, I will schedule posts for 2, maybe even 3 days in advance, because I know I'm going to be busy. So I think that's one of the things too that I started doing that was new, was scheduling posts and working out how to do that. Because I'm like, how the heck do I do this? How do I schedule posts? And yeah, people think that you're on Facebook all the time. And I'm like, no, I don't have time to do that. I'm too busy running around or driving my kids everywhere. But it still works your business. And it still works your team. They think that you're there, but really I'm not. So no, actually I don't have a VIP page at all. I'm going to be quite honest. Yeah, Yeah. I know a lot of people do, but for me, VIP just doesn't sort of work for me. So, um, when you give out scent circles, does it have your details on it? Yep, absolutely. It has got one of those stickers on there. It has got one of these bad boys on there. I label everything. If I can get a sticker on there, I'm going to put it on there, because I was saying to some people the other day that I had someone message me from 2 years ago because she has finally ran out of all her products, and she's like, I have to reorder. And it was only because I picked up, I think it was a wax bar. And she's like, your name was on there. She's like, I want to reorder through you again. So definitely labeling everything is important. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can get a label on there, put it on there. I even do it on washer whips. Put it on top of the lid, on top of there. That they're going to literally pick it up and down all the time. Have it so that it's in their face. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, as long as, like, even the light bulb, put it on that side. It's not covering anything. They've still got all the important bits and pieces. Put it on there. Like, I've got a lot of my customers that tend to stock up on these bad boys, and they might get to their last one and they may even forget who I am. That's, it happens. But your name and number and your website is on there. So I'm telling you now, actually, I've got one of Cindy's scent circles from when I first started, and it has her details on there. So it's important to label everything and anything that you get. One of the new things that too I've started is using these guys. So these are our little scratch and sniff things. These are amazing. These are quite powerful considering, they're tiny, but they're powerful. So they give you the full experience of what the products actually are. You don't have to get all of them. You can just get one or two, and it doesn't matter if it's, you clean or it's, whatever it is. As long as it's a scent in their face and they can smell it, they're going to be intrigued and wondering what other products can they get in this fragrance. Okay, let me have a look. Okay, so it says from PC, mine cut some of the independent consultant words out when I try and print. I did, like Cindy said, I did create a file, and you just have to like alter it slightly so that it actually lines up. I sometimes have to play with it still, even to get it to line up, but a majority of mine line up. I know the one that was on the workstation didn't actually line up, and it was all over the place. So I'm wondering whether we can actually find that and bring that back up to the top so everyone can see it. What did you have in your sample bag for the open home gas? I'll quickly just open this one up so that you can have a quick look so everyone can see. That's okay because it hasn't gone out. So it's literally got every little thing possible with little stickers on there that's in there, because on the back of them it's got a grid that tells you what fragrance is available in that product, and it has a little scratch and sniff on there. So I've just gone through everything, because you don't know if someone's got a dog or whatever it is, and it's always got a join flyer in there as well. A catalog in there. Normally, again, I would do product sheets because they're cheaper, but I've got a whole lot of catalogs that I need to get out so that I don't have a stock of them left. But if you do, you can always put a little sticker on there, drop them wherever, and say contact me for the current catalog. And again, you're getting the product into their hand and they're going to be intrigued. What else is in there? I do buy scratch and sniffs from the workstation. Scratch and sniffs are amazing. I wish I'd tried them like a long time ago. I was pretty scared and thinking I had to have them all, but just go for your popular fragrances that are out. I know that they've just told us what our, number one scents that are running at the moment. Just go with them. You can't go wrong. I mean, black raspberry vanilla, sweet pea vanilla, Luna. If they're after something fresh, lemon verbena, again, is probably one of the ones that I would go for. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's got any other questions. I feel like I'm kind of rambling on at the moment. So yeah, Cindy, I don't know.
No, I think you covered all the questions so far, which is awesome. I think one of the biggest things that stood out to me with what you shared was, and I don't know if you read the comment, but I now know why your girls are so committed to their sports, is obviously if you live by that, your girls know to basically never quit until you've exhausted everything. And generally you can't really exhaust everything because there's generally so much more that you can try and do before it gets to the point where there's nothing else that you can do, because there's so many different ideas. I love that you shared that it's all about helping each other. And if anyone ever gets to know Casey Ann, she's one of the quieter ones, but one of the most giving people that you'll ever come across. And she's one of those people that you actually wouldn't know what's going on in her life, because she does keep it all together, and she doesn't really kind of like put it out there, but she's a really strong woman, and I've been able to get to know her through some of her hard times and her good times. And I'm grateful that Sensi kind of brought us together so that I could get to know her that way. And hopefully you guys get to know her even more. I think everyone's just really thankful for all the information that you shared tonight, because you did give more. So I wouldn't be surprised if you got a few PMs or you're going to get a few PMs over the next 24 hours of people asking you more about your samples by the sounds of things. But thank you, Casey. Like, I really appreciate you. I didn't even suggest that she came and she filled in tonight. It was all her. And she doesn't like this kind of stuff. Like, training and doing live videos is not her thing, but I don't know why she's so worried about it, because if you guys all watched her, which you guys did, she's natural at it, and you can't even tell that she's nervous. And I don't know what she's saying, where the redness is coming from.
It's there.
But you're a very natural trainer, and I can see why you have a successful business. And one of the biggest things that Casey does show is a lot of love to her team. So yeah, thank you, Casey. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for stepping in. And hopefully the training will be up sometime. So this will be recorded and it'll be put up, and then you guys can go back and rewatch it. How do I do